Good morning guys, welcome to my channel Medico Study Point. So guys, in this video lecture we will be discussing about anatomy of external ear. External ear consists of three parts, that is pinna, external acoustic canal and tympanic membrane. So now we will discuss about the pinna. So basically what is pinna? It is a folded piece of cartilage which is made up of a single piece of cartilage which is also known as yellow elastic cartilage or auricular cartilage. And guys, the external auditory canal is also made up of that same cartilage from which pinna is made, that is yellow elastic cartilage. So now we'll see the structures which are present on pinna, that is there are 6 structures which are present on pinna. These are helix, antihelix, then tragus, antitragus, concha and cymba concha. So guys, the importance of cymba concha, then tragus, then the space between the tragus and crus of helix, I will be discussing about them in shortly. So you please focus in the picture and see the parts I have mentioned there, that where the helix is, then opposite the helix coming downwards we are having antihelix, then here we are having tragus, opposite to the tragus we are having antitragus, and the space between the tragus and this helix, or I can say crus of helix, you are seeing this is known as incisura terminalis. So the importance of this space I will be discussing shortly in a while. Here the speciality of this space is that no cartilage is present here. So you can understand like this: if you want to do the surgery, or I can say I want to go inside the middle ear through the external ear, so I have to make the opening. So if I will be making the opening in any other part than incisura terminalis of the pinna, then we will be damaging the cartilage, so that will be painful. And so we usually do not make the openings from the pinna. We usually do the surgical openings from this space only, that is incisura terminalis. So this is the speciality of this space, that it is free of cartilage. Now what's the speciality of cymba concha? So guys, it is the cartilaginous landmark for mastoid antrum. Now you will be thinking about that why do we need these landmarks for mastoid antrum? And one important landmark is McEwan's triangle. So this cymba concha, it is a cartilaginous landmark for mastoid antrum, and this McEwan's triangle, it is a bony landmark for mastoid antrum. So guys, whenever we will do the surgery and we want to enter into the middle ear, or I can say into the inner ear from the external ear, we usually go from the mastoid. So what we have to do now, will we have to make the opening in the mastoid. So in mastoid, which part exactly we should make the opening, so that we enters into the middle ear without damaging the important structures present there. So that part, or that space from where we can make the opening, we used to get by seeing these landmarks only. So the cartilaginous landmark is the cymba concha, and McEwan's triangle is the bony landmark. I will be discussing about McEwan's triangle shortly while below. Now we'll see about the boundaries of mastoid antrum. So guys, what do we understand by mastoid antrum? So I'll see, first of all, you just imagine that where our mastoid lies. So we are having this pinna, the lateral part of the pinna, the medial part of the pinna. Behind the medial part of the pinna, you please all put your fingers behind the medial part of your pinna. There you're feeling the bony structure. That bony structure is known as mastoid. So through this mastoid we go inside the middle ear. So now through this mastoid, through which space we drill the opening to go into the middle ear, that space is known as that bony landmark is known as the McEwan's triangle. So guys, now we'll be seeing about the boundaries of mastoid antrum. So you are seeing this red one I have drawn is mastoid. Then behind the mastoid, everybody knows we are having the sigmoid sinus, and between the mastoid and sigmoid sinus we are having a sigmoid bone, or we can say sigmoid plate. Now I can say the superior border of the mastoid is what? It is temporal lobe. So it is the middle cranial fossa, the temporal lobe. So the angle between the mastoid, and the temporal lobe, or I can say middle cranial fossa, is known as Siteli's angle or sinodural angle. So it is, you can easily see that this angle is between this sigmoid sinus, this mastoid antrum, and the upper superior border, that is known as the dural plate. So this angle is known as Siteli's angle. And below the mastoid you are seeing the stylomastoid foramen, through which our facial nerves comes out. So superiorly, the boundaries now we'll discussing about. So superiorly, it is having dural plate. It separates the antrum from temporal lobe. So temporal lobe abscess is the most common infection after middle ear infection. So guys, now you please focus here, that if any infection is present in the I can say temporal lobe, now you are seeing clearly that the dural plate connects the temporal lobe with what? With mastoid, and through the mastoid we are going into the middle ear. So the chances of infection going from mastoid to the middle ear is higher. So that's why the temporal lobe abscess is the most common infection after middle ear infection, or vice versa. Means if we are having any infection in middle ear, then that infection can also goes into the temporal lobe. Posteriorly, as you are also seeing this sinus plate, I have seen you between the sigmoid sinus and the mastoid, we are having this is known as sinus plate. What is separates? It separates antrum, mastoid antrum from the sigmoid sinus. And inferiorly, we are all seeing the stylomastoid foramen, and it is for the entry of facial nerve. Now, what this Siteli's angle? It is also known as sinodural angle between the sinus plate and dural plate. Now we'll discuss about the McEwan's triangle. It is also known as suprameatal triangle. Mastoid is drilled only in this particular area, as I have told you previously, that if we want to go to the middle ear, then we'll drill the mastoid through this area only. Now the skin on pinna, on the medial side we are having the loose skin, on the lateral side we are having the tight skin. So guys, now if we are having any I can say furuncle, or I can say if we'll do any surgery on lateral space, we'll having experience a more pain, or on the medial surface. So guys, where the skin is tight, that is on the lateral surface, so we'll having experiencing the pain much more on the lateral side. Now, how to be approach to middle ear? So first of all, approach to middle ear is approach to tympanic membrane or middle ear. First we'll go through the pinna, then through external auditory canal is not used. Guys, just listen this. Directly we do not go from pinna to external auditory canal, then to tympanic membrane. Why? Because as we have seen that the external auditory canal, initially it is the made of part 1/3 is made of cartilage, which tends to collapse, and there is a high risk of perichondritis. So that's why we do not go through this approach. We used to go through the end oral approach is done, that is incision is made on incisura terminalis between tragus and helix, as I have previously told you about that. Now another feature we are having, that is Dobbin's tubercle. Guys, what is this Dobbin's tubercle? It is also an identification mark present on some of the human beings. So what is it? It is a prominence at junction of upper 1/3 and lower 2/3 of the posterior superior margin of pinna, that is helix of the pinna. So upper 1/3 and lower 2/3 का जो junction है, so at that junction we are having a little prominence tubercle like, that is known as Dobbin's tubercle, and it is an atavistic feature which is commonly present in primates. So guys, this is all about the pinna, and we have discussed everything which is important about the pinna in this lecture. Now in further coming lectures we will be discussing about external auditory canal and tympanic membrane. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching the video. So guys, in this video we have discussed about the anatomy of pinna only. So in coming videos we will be discussing about external auditory canal and tympanic membrane. तो गाइज, अगर आप मेरे चैनल पर नए हो तो प्लीज़ चैनल को लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें और चैनल को शेयर करें और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करें, जिससे कि मेरी आने वाली वीडियोस का नोटिफिकेशन आपके पास सबसे पहले पहुंच जाए. थैंक यू गाइज, थैंक यू फॉर सपोर्टिंग.